in there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Rachel's lure is no stranger to controversy after her bold statements about Snow White. She's faced an avalanche of backlash that has left many scratching their heads with Snow White, now widely regarded as one of the worst remakes ever. You might expect her to retreat, but hold on, what's lure reveals. Next will surprise you. Why is she thankful despite everything? Will she sue Disney, or will Disney sue her? Is she really the problem? Plus, we'll hear how her friend Hyde Bailey, who faced her own backlash as Ariel and The Little Mermaid.
Thank you so much for joining and coming to the party. And I know you had a busy day yesterday at D23.
I did. It was so fun. Oh my God, as a huge Disney fan, it was so exciting to finally get to go to D23. Yeah. Tickets sell out like in a flash. So it was so exciting to go. And my mom was super jealous because my mom is the reason I'm a Disney fan. Oh, my mom's favorite princess is Snow White. So it's honestly her manifestation coming to be.
So when you got the role, how did she react?
She does this hilarious thing where she goes, "Oh my God, Rachel Ann."
You're like, "Yes, mother. Yes, Mom. I am Snow White."
And I can never tell if I'm in trouble or if she's happy. And that time it was happy. I was not in trouble for getting the role of Snow White.
That's so funny. Speaking of Snow White, how is it going? I think you wrapped, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh my gosh, what was it like? I mean, knowing you're a Disney fan.
Just walks past with somebody else.
Stepping into this world, it's also, the first movie wasn't from the 20s.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, the first cartoon came out 85 years ago.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937.
And so to be able to, 85 years later, be the first Disney live action version of that is so incredible. I grew up on Disney films on the VHS tape. I was terrified of the original cartoon when I was a kid.
Serious. I watched it once, and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White Scare.
So honestly, it's just like getting to work through the terrifying trauma that I had from watching the original cartoon every day on set.
These are terrifying.
Disney cartoons were so scary back then.
What was the most challenging and also fun part about playing Snow White?
The entire sequence of Whistle While You Work. And when you see the film, you'll know why.
I'll be like, that one time Rachel told me about that.
She was whistling and she was working.
Okay.
Every time I'm online for the Snow White ride, and it is I have to pretend like, oh God, oh crazy that we're in front of this.
Wait, how long?
It's like I'm standing there waiting for the photo op, being like,
well, you kind of are, you know?
No, I guess
like
so.
you're Harrison Ford.
I'm Snow White!
Is that your favorite ride? I mean, that's a weird thing that you are Snow White now.
I mean, it's one of the original. I'm a really big Disney fan. I grew up at the Disney parks. My parents took me every summer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so it's like, it's a part of my upbringing. It's my favorite thing. So it's just one of those things that comes with the
territory. If you love it, don't let them scare you.
I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. Like, I'm being so serious. I watched it once and then I went on the ride in Disney World, which was called Snow White Scary Adventures. Doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again. I'm a narcissist. I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film.
And I had a really hard time. It was a really hard thing where I felt like I had bit off more than I could chew and that they'd made the wrong decision because I didn't know how to do that.
It's just been the honor of a lifetime. I think any young person, any little girl, you get to put on a Disney princess dress and be her for a day, let alone 6 months of shooting in London on these incredible sets in a Sandy Powell design dress. It's just been the most amazing experience, and I can't wait to share it with you all. We, along with our amazing director, Mark Webb, our entire cast and crew, we have worked so incredibly hard to bring this iconic story to life, and we're so excited to give you a sneak peek at the film. And as you know, there will be so many new songs that are amazing by Oscar Award winners Pasek and Paul. But here for D23, we're going to show you a classic. Let's take a look.
I have a feeling that this video is going to get taken out of context, and I know that at this point I can't really stop people from doing that because that's what my whole existence on the internet is. It's just me being taken out of context, and that's what I signed up for, isn't it? But I never wanted to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have when I say that this has been the biggest adjustment of my life, like understanding the way my life operates now, being who I am, and the things that I've been so fortunate to make. It comes with so much ground that I never thought I would be able to cover, and that people think I'm doing poorly, and other people think I'm doing gracefully, and I don't think I'm doing it at all. So when I tell you that it's hard, I just mean to be inside my brain. That's hard. And I'm there 24/7. I can't get out of it. And I don't know if that will make sense, but that's where I'm at. I'm so grateful for the things that I'm able to do. And a lot of what I'm able to do is because of you guys. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats. And maybe that's a weird takeaway for this video. This is a life. This is real, but it's hard. And it's lonely. It's very lonely. I just know that if that loneliness can exist, so can other things, and I will be okay. Maybe that's a weird takeaway. Regardless, this is not supposed to be anything other than insightful entertainment. It's what I do best. Just know that I am the most grateful person alive. But I'm also keeping it real.
The way you are just so graceful and respond and it's just the most beautiful thing to see. Being women under the spotlight, people are so critical and just say anything that they would never say to your face.
No, as much as you'd like to remind people verbally that being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do, and it fuels them more.
Yes, exactly.
Choosing thankfulness and gratefulness is choosing peace, choosing to be present and know that they're probably just having a really hard day.
Yes.
And I am putting out a movie. And I feel so thankful for those moments because it started to make me feel like solid Teflon.
Yes.
That it can't really, that nothing can hurt anymore.
Amen.
Because they've said the worst that can be said, and you just kind of, I have a lot of love in my life.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful.
Amen.
We get to do our work and have that speak for itself instead, which is exactly what you've done. And
you too. I love the saying, my throw stones and I'll build a bridge out of them. Isn't that nice?
That is nice.
I love
that.
It's
true though.
Yeah.
There are people out there who say things that make people want to not come together, that make people want to fight. And it's just not worth the time and energy.
Despite the turmoil surrounding gratitude, her dismissal, Zegler has expressed gratitude for the backlash rounding Snow White. She acknowledges the support she received from fans and fellow actors, particularly H. Bailey, who has faced similar criticism for her casting as Ariel in the recent live-action Little Mermaid. In a conversation with Bailey on a new episode of Variety's Actors On Actors series, Zegler shared that she feels so thankful for those moments because they make me feel like solid Teflon. She elaborated that nothing can hurt anymore because they've said the worst that can be said. You just say thank you so much for this. I have a lot of love in my life, and I'm very thankful we get to do our work and have that speak for itself. Instead, Zegler emphasized that choosing thankfulness and gratefulness is choosing peace. She further explained, as much as you'd like to remind people verbally that being in the spotlight doesn't absolve you of your humanity, that you're allowed to have human moments, it doesn't necessarily do what you want it to do, it fuels them more. But again, she's contradicting herself. If she is thankful, why is she suing Disney? Rachel Zegler is preparing to take action against Disney, filing a lawsuit that alleges racial discrimination and challenges toxic fan behavior. This lawsuit comes on the heels of her dismissal from the highly anticipated Snow White role, while Zegler has expressed gratitude for the opportunities she has received. Her decision to pursue legal action stems from a feeling of injustice. She believes that the circumstances surrounding her dismissal were not only unwarranted but also indicative of broader systemic issues related to how actors are treated, especially those from marginalized backgrounds. Zegler has refused to accept the industry standard practice of losing a role due to external pressures, insisting that her voice and concerns be heard. Her frustration is compounded by canceled performances and unmet contractual expectations, which she argues represent a significant breach of trust and professional integrity. Now the question is, should Disney be suing her instead? The other way around. Disney is currently grappling with significant financial and reputational challenges, largely because of ongoing disputes and fan backlash surrounding the Snow White film. The company has faced multiple reshoots and changes in production, which not only drive up costs but also risk alienating audiences already divided by the controversy.
We've been talking about it. Disney's stock closing now at its lowest level in more than 3 years yesterday. You can take a look right there at 82.83. And joining us right now with more on the company, Barton Crockett. He's a senior analyst at Rosenblatt Securities. Barton, good morning to you. I want to talk to you about the stock, the challenges that we're seeing with the strike, but I also want to talk to you about this report in The Information, which I'm sure you saw, about the prospect that Disney is talking to Amazon about a partnership around ESPN and what that could ultimately mean.
Look, I think that one thing or the other is going to happen with Disney stock. They're either going to find some kind of solid footing underneath the business that's going to support the stock, or the pressures kind of build on this company to restructure and to break up. And I think in the latter scenario, you've got certainly an opportunity for value to be created from these levels. And I don't think the management team wants that. I think they believe they can turn the business around so it doesn't get to that point. But they've had activists before in Disney, and they could return if things don't shape up.
In public relations issues, a rare acknowledgement of the situation, Disney has effectively admitted that the public relations issues could adversely impact their business. In a statement, the Walt Disney Company noted generally our revenues and profitability are adversely impacted when our entertainment offerings and products, as well as our methods to make our offerings and products available to consumers, do not achieve sufficient consumer acceptance. This admission highlights the importance of aligning content with audience expectations and preferences, particularly in a time when social media can amplify discontent. Disney further noted we face risks relating to misalignment with public and consumer tastes and preferences for entertainment, travel, and consumer products. The company is acutely aware of the potential pitfalls that arise from received missteps, especially in a landscape where public opinion can shift rapidly. Moreover, Disney's reputation is at stake. The company stated consumers' perceptions of our position on matters of public interest, including our efforts to achieve certain environmental and social goals, often differ widely and present risks to our reputation and brands. This acknowledgement reflects a growing awareness within the company of the complexities of navigating public sentiment, especially regarding inclusivity and representation in their content. As a result, Disney is likely facing both internal and external pressures to address these issues thoughtfully to restore its standing in the eyes of its audience and stakeholders. But is it fair to place all the blame on Zegler? Critics are also targeting Disney's focus on diversity initiatives over quality storytelling. Under Bob Iger's leadership, the backlash against Disney's live-action remakes included Snow White has become monumental. Fans of the beloved 1937 classic are boycotting this new version, feeling that the essence of the original is being sacrificed for modern agendas. Iger's management is facing intense scrutiny, with audiences recalling past controversies involving other stars like Mark Hamill and Gina Carano. The discourse surrounding Zegler has evolved into a cultural battleground, raising questions about the relevance of Disney's approach to beloved story rise. Adding to the chaos are the negative test screenings for Snow White, which signal potential disaster ahead. The first trailer, launched in 2024, was met with an astonishing amount of dislikes, leading to fears that this film could mark a low point for Disney. It's a storm brewing that seems to be fueled by more than just Zegler's casting. It's a culmination of unmet expectations and growing conclusion dissatisfaction. Rachel Zegler's fallout. Now to focus on Zegler. Her dismissal has ignited a firestorm despite wrapping filming back in 2022. Snow White remains mired in reshoot, with Disney throwing money at the project amid mounting criticisms. Zegler was not only dropped from Snow White but also from future projects like the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Her frustration is beyond canceled performances meant to promote the film and a significant financial hit due to unfulfilled contract expectations have left her feeling wronged. She insists that her contract was finalized while Disney claims otherwise, and she is demanding compensation for lost opportunities. Fans who have traditionally supported Disney are now reevaluating their loyalties, especially with the push for diversity seemingly overshadowing storytelling quality as Disney moves forward with its upcoming films. It's evident that Zegler's legal action could shake things up further. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Do you think Rachel Zegler is to blame for the backlash surrounding Snow White, or is it a sign of deeper issues within Disney? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want to stay updated on the latest drama, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in the next video.